So let's have a start to our internationalization localization development. How can you integrate and how can you start your development for your applications? So well, let's have a start. What I did, my development's already a little bit done. So I start on npm start, and then you see the server started with 4404, and it's a Foxy configuration. It is not done because I didn't release it my microservices to call it, and then when a microservice get ready, then I just directly call to the microservices to build our CRUD operation to the pages. So let's have a try to check it and how it's look like to the into the browser. Into the browser, how it's look like. So localhost. So you see the default page is coming, the home page, and this is the language default English language is set here. Then you see all the menus and the name of the columns, and then all of the features, your new, edit, delete, save, and reset and cancel buttons, and even the all information in the English. When I go to the French and German part, because it's just like that I said in my presentations, I wanted to change part of the keys of that. So you see the menu, the hub menu and product, and then Dienstleistung, Nachrichten, and overall the about informations. So you see that all the what I did, just like this key is changed, this key is leveled, and this key is leveled, and this also the address Registrierung Information for here that is changed. If you go to French part, it is this part, this key is already leveled with the French, and this is the part. So if you go there, so you see the changes of some, this is one also changed, and this is one also changed, and then all part is not yet done for the changes of the keys. So, and then if I go to the Bengali part, I see the Bengali part is completely done. This is my mother tongue, and you see you didn't speak this Bengali. This is the funny things. So that's you can see the Bengalis, it changes even though all the keys and all the your buttons or your actions is changed, and even though in the all information change, in Bengali is new means notun, and then edit means hal nagad. This is called is Bengali. So that's you can see, you see that very often how the language changes. So it's very efficient, it's working, what are the expectation, and French language and Bengali languages. So maybe I said it here, maybe here, and then when I finish up the complete development, I will change maybe here as a drop down list, or even though put it here some buttons, or even though inside your menu bars to put it multi-language selections, then you can do it. And let's have a start our final developments, how it works, the expectation that we are hope it works. So what you need to do for very fast, you need to go to the the everything. So that's I in the last screen I discussed a lot about that, how will be the project structure, and then this is the idea in the professional life, how we did the professional life developments activities. So in the app folder, everybody knows this app folder, and even though everybody knows our node modules, these are all dependency injection for these applications. So you see the components, and then all components, I put it all the components into my one directory, and then I put it all the services into the one directories, and then I put it all the models, what I need into the models, and all in the same directory, and then there is a service directory, and then there's a default structure for the Angular application. That's everybody knows. These are the app routing module.ts files, and app component.html files, app component.scss, because I'm using here scss, and you have this specific app component.ts file, app module.injection file. That's the files. So if you go to these modules very fast, so you see here the most important part. So here you insert your modules, the language translation modules, and then you put it like the root. So you configure the translate module in specific loader and parse and or missing the translation handler. So this is the translate translation modules you already imported here. Now here's the library, you put a translator module in import here, and then you call the module for root and loader, provider, translate loader, HTTP loader factory, and then there is a HTTP clients, and then you implement the required AOT compilations. So these are the functions that you are using here. So you pass the parameter like HTTP client parameter, and you can the new HTTP loader to this one. So then you need to do here the app components modules. Use just app components. This is a global class, and then this is the project name. Then in constructor you need to be set the translator service from the Angular. You see the NGX translator core. Translator service is here, and then you define your en. So even though you can put it here your Bengali part as a default bn, that is when the application is started, it will be your default application will be started as a as a Bengali, as a default applications. So you see the default is changed. Even though if you go to in the other part, you can change it here default, depending where your localization works and what internationalization need to be set. Even though so we go to the backstage. So I change here small functions. Then I can, when I click the buttons, let's say you click the buttons and it changes automatically here. There's a button, and then this is the button functions that I implemented here. So as an input parameter, as a string value language, you can pass. That's the parameter here to give it to language key and the prefix, and then it's automatically pass your selection of the language keys. So then you need to go there, the HTML page, the total page. This is the page. At the moment, I just put it like the click button. So you see the language, these functions that we already develop here. This is the function call, and this is the the button implementations to call the function, and you set it your respective prefix for the languages. So even though I put it here like this is as I said in my presentation, this is the one of the standard or generalized approach for the localization and internationalizations for any enterprise level applications. Only the professional level. In the other cases you can use it, but my experience say this is the standard and really professional approach to do. So I type the translation. So you see there also the translation here, the English and Deutsch, German and Bengali is translation you can do here. So that's the HTML page. So what you need to do, you need to be app module TS file, you need to be translator module to translate loader and loader factory, HTTP loader factory to be implemented or to be loaded, and then here you need to define your constructor app.components.ts class. You need to be construct the translator service, and then you set the default languages, and even though for the language switcher you build one special functions as input string as input parameters, and then this is the keys of the prefix for the languages. So that's all. So here is, you can go there. So here, so we set the buttons, and then see the buttons is here. You see the respective buttons is here. So let's have a look for our NGS. This is the one of the issues, key issues. You need to be really set at this one. So assets, and then after the assets folder, and inside the asset folder there is a I18NG and N18N internationalizations code, and then you have a respective language JSON files. So let's have a start to open the respective JSON files. So this is the English JSON files, and then if I go to the German one, so you see that I have all the definitions. So English one I need to discuss this one. So this is the very spatial structure. You have a curly braces, and then you have some geo and non-geo keys, and this is the titles, and then user registration forms, and then these are all forms, attributes or columns. How we said it here, the definition of the keys. So this is the keys for any language is same, but just you need to